got to share these links. Just got to share. Yeah, we're live. We're live. I just heard my goofy ass. Shares right there in the middle of the screen. I can't find it. Expecting nobody to show up, so I'm just gonna clip it. I'm gonna run the draw, and then I'll like clip it and I'll post it. You know, I'm trying to show up on the damn live stream. All right, I think we're there. I think we're set. Here's the item in question, the David Montgomery Bobblehead Giveaway. It's pretty cool bobblehead. I like it. I gave one to my nephew for his birthday. I was lucky enough to be invited to a game. Alright, so we're just going to get into it. This shows that we got true viewers, but gonna go ahead and do this, man. I'm taking myself out and I'm taking little Albert out since he already has one. The Montgomery Bobblehead. And so let's do this. Well, I'm gonna input everyone's name based off the current standings, so that's why we have my phone. So right now, Chris will go first. Then it's Kurt, Trent, John.
There's glory in the legends of this hard muscle life, and there's poetry in each season made of sweat and strife.
Uncle Sean.
But now's the time to work and strain at a sport that tests the spirit and challenges the brain.
Who's after Andy?
Yeah, I'd like to have 75 degrees and sunny all the time too, but that's not football.
Do you fear the force of the wind, the slash of the rain?
We're gonna play us through light and rain.
Go face them and fight them. Be savage again.
Adrian. We have Mr. Dunn. Dunn wins it. I'm shipping it off to him.
Lights your fireman.
The
pilot lights out.
This football
and then
team
we
is
have
coming
Manny.
to our place. We're standing in our way.
Alright, we have our 12
Focus.
names.
A time for
Let's
achievement.
go ahead and
a time for purpose. A
go
time
to the
for
next
growth.
step. Alright. Right here, I'm going to shuffle it. We're going to go with David Montgomery's number 5. So I'm going to shuffle it 5 times. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright. Now, higher luck values give better chances of winning. Nobody's going to get nothing right here. Everyone's the same. Alright, I got a... okay. Yards travel per rush. We're going to go with 5 and 6. So nobody doesn't get a 10-yard burst and then no one has a shot. And then we're going to go 4, 5. I kind of went through these settings last night. I had a trial and error. And I was going to go with fast, but let's stick with normal. It's going to make it a little longer, but it gets over in under a minute. So. All right, we're set, boys. We are set. Nobody has extra luck. Everyone's the same odds. There goes the settings. This is for the David Montgomery giveaway. Fuck, I don't think my cam's working, bro. Give me a second. Mayday. Mayday. This shit froze. Damn, my shit froze. Yo. We froze last time, dude. Alright, looks like we're live, man. Let's redo this shit again. Sheesh. Alright, we're live. Shit froze last time. I think the mic was live, so hopefully if anyone was in here, y'all heard me. Alright, here we go, man. We're going to just go ahead and dive right into it again. I'm taking myself out, and I'm taking little Albert out since he already has one. So there's 12 names, 12 players. Oh, shit. What's this now? These are not the names ordered. Alright, there we go. And now we're going to input everyone's names based off of our standings. So right now it's Chris, Kurt, Trent, John, me, Sean, Andy, Rico, Aaron, Adrian, Done, Biggie, Manny. Alright. Got our names there based off of our standings, so we go to the next task, which is we're gonna shuffle it now. We're gonna use David Montgomery's jersey number 5. So let's shuffle it 5 times. 1, 2. There it is. Go to the next task. Higher luck values give better chances of winning. Everybody's gonna stay the same. Nobody gets anything extra. Next. Yards travel per rush. I'm gonna go with 5-6. Seconds per rush, it's 4-5. I did a lot of trial and error last night. Tried to find the best settings. I was going to go with fast, but I'm going to stick with normal just to let it drag out a little bit. So, alright, let's see. Everyone's saying the same. No extra luck given to nobody. There goes the settings. This is for the David Montgomery Bobblehead Giveaway that Ford Field did at their last game versus the Jaguars, or actually 2 games ago. Was it the Jaguars? Yeah, it was the Jaguars. So here we go. We're about to start this shit. Turn this shit up.
There's glory in the legends of this hard
Go.
muscle life.
Start rush.
And there's
3,
poetry in
2,
each season
1.
made of sweat and strife. But now's the time to work and strain at a sport that tests.
This is it. This is it, man. Someone's about to get this bobblehead right here.
Yeah, I'd like to have 75 degrees and sunny all the time.
Here we go. Neck and neck.
Do you fear the force of the wind, the slash of the rain?
We're gonna play us through light and rain.
Oh shit, everyone's still tied, dude. Who's gonna be first? Who's gonna get this bobblehead? David Montgomery. It values for like 50, 60 bucks last I saw on Facebook Marketplace. Let's go. We got 60 yards to go. Uncle Sean's falling behind a little bit. Who's in the lead? It looks like Terrence. Terrence, Kurt, John Pete. We're at the 50. We're coming up on the 40-yard line. Terrence. We got Kurt. We got Rico, Andy, Manny. Everyone's still in play. Uncle Sean's still a little couple yards behind. Will he get that last second burst? David Dunn's at the bottom, coming up on the 30-yard line. Beluch is right there, neck and neck. Rico, Kurt, Terrence, Trent, Manny, Andy. Who's going to get this? John Pete's trying to get his name in there. Kurt's pulling ahead. Here comes Rico. Look at Terrence. Terrence is stalling out a little bit, but he's got another burst. Rico, Kurt, John Pete, what happened? Adrian, Big E. Oh, who's it? Who's it? Who's going to get it? Oh, Terrence! Terrence gets it. Terrence Rico Manny. There it goes. Wow. Terrence, my man, Cowboys fan. Get a hold of me, or when I see you, even if it's at the draft next season or next summer, I'll get you this bobblehead. Hopefully I can get it to you before then. But there it goes. That was fun. All right, man. Hopefully I can get some more stuff to give away. Do this again. I didn't expect to get excited like that. I might have ruined it. But, all right, fellas. It's 12:20. It's parlay time. We got to set some lineups. We got to get some parlays in. Good luck. Week 13, boys. We got 2 more weeks. Next week is the last week of the regular season before the playoffs start. Good luck. I hope all your players get hurt, and I hope I win. All right, fellas. Good luck. Later.
There's glory in the legends of this hard muscle life, and there's poetry in each season made of sweat and strife. But now's the time to work and strain at a sport that tests the spirit and challenges the brain.
Come on, let's go. Yeah, I'd like to have 75 degrees and sunny all the time too, but that's not football.
Do you fear the force of the wind, the slash of the rain?
We're gonna play us through lightning and rain.
Go face them and fight them. Be savage again.
This gun lights your fireman, the pilot lights out.
This football team is coming into our place. They're standing in our way.
This is a game of the heart. Focus and finish.
A time for achievement. A time for purpose. A time for glory.
There's glory in the legends of this hard muscle life, and there's poetry in each season made of sweat and strife. But now's the time to work and strain at a sport that tests the spirit and challenges the brain.
Come on, let's go. Yeah, I'd like to have 75 degrees and sunny all the time too, but that's not football.
Do you fear the force of the wind, the slash of the rain?
We're gonna play us through light and rain.
Go face them and fight them. Be savage again.
This gun lights your fireman, the pilot lights out.
This football team is coming into our place. They're standing in our way.
This is a game of the heart. Focus and finish.
A time for achievement, a time for purpose, a time for glory.
It's time for a little start sit. It is presented by NFL Primetime Fantasy. Oh, it is our guy, Michael F. Florio, who joins us right now. If you're not checking out his column on NFL.com on who to play and who to park on that bench, bad job by you. Michael, always good to have you on with us, man. Want to get to Marvin Harrison coming up in just a bit because I can't wait to hear your take on him. But as we always do, we start with some of the quarterbacks, who's on the bench and who you think is a good start for your lineup. Not a surprise to see Justin Herbert there. Anthony Richardson, that's got to be matchup specific. And you're right, Brock Purdy on the bench. Still banged up. He will be out there. Geno and Kirk Cousins also sits, according to Michael F. Florio. But C.J. Stroud here, this has been a little bit of an up-and-down season. Why do you like him as a start?
Partly because it is the best matchup a quarterback could have. The Jaguars have allowed the most fantasy points per game to quarterbacks, and Stroud has dominated them in his career. Earlier this season, got them for a season-high 345 yards, 24 fantasy points, and he averages 25 per game against them in his career. But even more important than that, he has been under pressure at the second highest rate this season. The Jags generate pressure at the fourth lowest rate. So Stroud actually might get some time in the pocket, might be able to get the ball to Nico Collins, like Cynthia was saying earlier in the show. So yeah, if you're not playing CJ Stroud this week, when are you?
Well, I'm also a believer. Like if we have 4 games already played, so yeah. If you still need someone, I know that it's the Browns, oh no, but the Browns secondary and the Browns ability to give up passes, especially the types of passes that one Cortland Sutton likes to catch, is not necessarily the same that we're used to from this Browns defense. And also, this is an O-line that has helped keep Bo Nix away from quick pressures, which means to me, he is fully playable. This is a guy in fantasy. I'm a believer. I'm going to keep saying that because it's a pretty fun way to do it. But Bo, are you a believer?
I am. I hadn't heard that one before.
You haven't?
No.
Oh, so it's good. I'm glad I could introduce you to it. It's not mine. I can't take credit for it.
No, but I heard you say it, so I'm always going to give you credit for it. And unless it was Michael F. Florio who came up with it, and then Michael, bad job by me not giving you some love on that. Let's get to the running backs here. Chase Brown, a start. Tony Pollard, who actually balled out last time out for the Titans, also a start on the road against Washington. You see some of the sits that are there. But Mike, why do you like Bucky Irving?
Because he excels at scoring fantasy points. 15 or more in 5 of his last 6 games. He is seeing a lot of involvement as a pass catcher for Baker Mayfield here, and he already has a heavy share of the groundwork, gets work near the goal line. And then, best matchup a running back could have. The Panthers have allowed the second most rushing yards, most touchdowns, and most fantasy points to running backs. And what I love, the Bucs are a little bit like the Lions in the sense of even if they had a big lead, they don't necessarily take the foot off the gas. So even if this one turns out to be a little lopsided, I think Bucky Irving should give you plenty of production this week.
Well, I saw that you had 2 sits for the Jags running backs, but I don't want you to forget to start the running back on the other side of this matchup. Everything what I'm going to do is rhyming today. So I picked Joe, now Bo, now I'm going with Joe. I think Joe Mixon also has a really good opportunity against the Jags. If I'm looking at and I'm thinking about this strategy that this Texans offense needs to employ, stop committing turnovers. Yeah. Because then Joe Mixon, that's an opportunity where you're not in like 1st and 20, right? Let's give him 1st and 10. How about 2nd and 6? Hey, who knows? 3rd and short. Let's go for it. But ultimately, Joe Mixon is kind of the same way, like he's a proxy for how this offense goes. And I think against the Jags, he's going to have a monster game.
Weird to see some of these interceptions by C.J. Stroud. I know we touched on him a little bit earlier, but I couldn't agree more with your assessment, Cynthia, regarding Joe Mixon. Meanwhile, we got some wide receivers for you. JSN, we talked about him a couple minutes ago. Mike's got him as a start. I'm looking at that sitcom, and I know what Marvin Harrison can be. Give me some context here, Mike. Why not put him in your starting lineup?
I think I'm going against the grain a little bit here because on paper, this seems like a great matchup as the Vikings allow a lot of yards to wide receivers, but this feels like a trap to me because the Vikings play split safety coverage at by far the highest rate in the NFL, and Kyler Murray is 27th in passer rating against that coverage. Marvin Harrison Jr. has just a 52% catch rate against them. Passer rating when targeted is pretty low as well. Plus, Marv has struggled with fewer than 8 fantasy points in 5 of his last 7 games. So while this on your fantasy app, it's going to be green. It's going to say it's a good matchup. This feels a little bit more trappy to me because they struggle against the defense that the Vikings employ the most.
I actually completely agree. I think in daily you could even play the Vikings defense. That's how strongly I feel about this.
Okay.
I also want to talk about, I told you I liked Bo, so I want to also double down there and say I like Cortland Sutton too. Cortland Sutton, I mean, if you look at their quarterback to wide receiver duo rate, it is extremely high as well. Passer rating, yards, touchdowns, all of the things that you would need. I'm also looking at the opportunity here on Monday night, right? You know who knows like how to put on a good show? Sean Payton. Sean Payton's going to put a good show on tomorrow and this week outright. Show us what you got in that red zone. Show us that your rookie is worth considering for being the O'Roy. I think that that is going to be a really nice pairing between Bo Nix and his number one wide receiver.
I like those two guys, simpatico, the numbers bear it out. Mike, always good to have you on the show with us. And no matter what anyone says about your shoe collection, no one's got a better
Your
collection
shoes
of
are
Jordans.
great. I saw that and I was like, you tell that person to kick rocks.
Seriously, if you're not
with their ugly shoes.
If you're not
with no
following-
shoes.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Exactly. The Jordans, though, they are legit.
They're great.
Our lockers,
Thank you,
very close. There's some jealousy that is there. Meanwhile, Sam Darnold, the career high already with 9 wins, 21 passing touchdowns, and a 101.7 passer rating. Can he add to the totals today? We'll find out.
Jackson and Derrick Henry have been unstoppable.
Push, if you please.
He's in.
Touchdown! Leaping Jalen Hurts.
Great play.
No.
Everybody know that I'm a problem. Everybody know. Tell me damn what they waiting for.
You know, we usually wrap up the show with Sunday statements. I'm going to give you an earlier one. the matchup between the Eagles and the Ravens will be the best regular season game of the year.
It could be a Super Bowl preview, so I'm with you.
God, I cannot wait for this game. But take me through this here, because I do think about some of the things that Philadelphia has done on the defensive side, and we saw some strides. I think this offseason, especially in the draft, they tried to address some of the issues in that secondary. Take me through the defensive game plan against a guy like Lamar Jackson.
Well, one of the things that Lamar Jackson has been exceptional, I mean, there's a lot of things that Lamar has been exceptional at doing, but one that really stands out is how good he's been passing in the pocket. In fact, this is his best season ever, and he's had some other MVPs before, two of them, in fact. So this is his best season passing from the pocket, and that's even more impressive when you consider that 3 of their 5 offensive linemen are all different. So hats off to Lamar and this entire offensive staff for figuring out some new wrinkles and folds to add to someone who's already exceptional's game. But that's going to be an area where those defensive backs are really going to have to adapt. Zay Flowers doesn't run traditional routes. He's not like this route runner that's super pristine and precise. So the defensive backs, they're going to have to make a lot of different adjustments. Good news, Quinyon Mitchell, who could be the defensive rookie of the year, that could be a cool matchup to see a couple of times.
Okay, on the flip side, I know the Ravens defense last year was as good as it gets. I mean, historic type numbers. There's some questions about what they can do in the passing game, but more importantly, how do you keep a guy like Saquon, who could be the offensive player, he's in the MVP conversation.
Yeah.
How do you keep him in check?
Well, the Ravens defense and the run, they're going to be able to. So I'm worried about a little Roquan Smith. I want to see exactly where he is. So that's where you're hearing the hesitation in my voice. But one of the principles that they've really hammered down this year is being able to stop the run from any direction. Like, you try to find like weaknesses in their run game. I'll wait. Oh, okay, you can't. But ultimately, sometimes they're sacrificing some of the opportunities in the pass catching game to be very stout against the run. So they'll have to make some business decisions to make sure that they're getting the right numbers in the box at specific times, because you don't necessarily want to give this team with both, Jalen and Saquon, who can both be a threat on the ground in any play. Do you want to give them a light box? Probably not, but strategically sometimes, yes.
Cannot wait to see how this thing plays out, because I'm already thinking Tuesday's edition of Power Rankings here on the NFL channel, because I think no matter who wins this game, they can flex in such a
also
way.
Are they really going to change that much? Like the power rate, okay,
no, not at the top here.
I kind of hate when that happens. We're lucky to get teams 1 and 3 or whatever to be able to play each other. That's pretty lucky.
It is, and one of those teams that's also in that conversation, the Buffalo Bills. I was just telling you, I was spending some time yesterday because we're doing some college football stuff in the Bay Area. I land, I'm like, oh, it's cold in San Francisco. I'll tell you what, it ain't that cold. I mean, are you kidding me already? December 1st with all this snow?
Do you know what I love so much about the people in Buffalo? How they get out there and shovel. Yeah. The fans will come shovel. Do you think LA fans would ever shovel if we ever? No, LA fans would not. I love it. But I'm looking at what happens in this game, and by the way, this game isn't played till the night, so I do think they'll have most of it cleared. I don't think we're going to see that full blizzard again like we saw on the Thursday night or before. Still going to be cold, though. I still want to say, we got to give a little love to George Kittle. I feel like we've been saying a lot of, we don't know what to say about the Niners. Well, you know what I do know is that George Kittle's a problem, especially when he lines up as an inline receiver. This is, this year, the straw that stirs the drink. Usually we say that about Christian McCaffrey. And look at what he's done in terms of getting into the end zone, blocking, all the different things he's been asked to do. It's the best left tackle in football playing? No? Okay, I'm still going to catch a touchdown, no problem. But I don't necessarily think he's getting enough love. It's hard at this tight end position, right? It's not a great matchup with Matt Milano coming back as well, but we still need to give him his love. Even in the snow, he's going to shine.
He, by the way, might be the best tight end in the NFL. Maybe we talk about him a little bit more if San Francisco wasn't struggling with a 5 and 6 record.
Well, we all kind of take him for granted. Oh, George Kittle's awesome, but let's give him a little he actually is awesomer this year than before even.
There is another tight end that I think deserves a lot of attention. I've been saying this almost every single week playing for the Arizona Cardinals as they match up against the Vikings. Trey McBride makes spectacular plays out on the field.
Last week he had a massive game against the Cardinals, or against the Seahawks. I feel like he's another one we're just like, yeah, he's really good. Don't worry about him. What? No, we need to celebrate what this guy's doing. And this is a really big reason why, if I'm looking at areas to exploit the Vikings defense, I am actually completely with Florio about the types of coverages that the secondary plays not being the best for Marvin Harrison Jr. What I'm worried about, if I am a Vikings fan, is how they're going to stop Trey McBride. That is the one where I think he's just so dynamic. You know, this whole, like, Brock Bowers gets all this credit on Black Friday. Well, this is the same. He's got a very similar game. So I'm very curious to see how that Vikings defense will look to defend McBride.
Yeah, there's a lot of good games today. I know all of us are going to be stuck in front of our televisions enjoying every single minute of it. Meanwhile, Cynthia, some of your projections here, I'm going to focus in on Pitt and Cincinnati because you like the Steelers to sink the Bengals.
That's so mean. That's you putting it so meanly. I like the Steelers to win and solidify their 21st season in a row of a not losing season. How about that? Let's go positive.
Okay.
That ties the Cowboys with the longest record in NFL history. Congratulations to Coach Tomlin. I don't know. To me, I think the wrong team is favored in this one, even though the game is being played in Cincinnati.
Yeah, and Steve White hopefully staying warm. He gave us his report a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
We got more on this Bengals squad in just a moment here. Meanwhile, San Francisco, Buffalo, just because we showed the snow, I'm going to double down on this because we got two awesome games, right? Eagles and Ravens. You like Baltimore, San Francisco, and Buffalo. You like the home teams.
I do like the home teams in both, but look at that 1-point margin. No Devontae Smith really made a big difference because that is where the advantage lies.
As Mike Garafolo told us at the top of the show, with regards to Smith, he will try to get out there in pregame warmups, but not optimistic.
If I'm a fantasy player, don't bank on it.
Yeah, and as Mike made reference to, not optimistic that he will be able to give it a go, which is why Cynthia's got the home team picking up a win in the Ravens. All right, Sunday statement time. What do you got?
Joe Mixon. I'm going back to the Joe Mixon well. Not only will he score once, that's for amateurs, he's going to get into the end zone twice. I think this is a big get-right situation for the Texans. I don't think they let their foot off the gas. I know we saw Trevor Lawrence is playing. That's very good. Good for him. I'm very happy for him. However, that just means probably more scoring will take place in this entire game.
All right, I'm going to roll. I can't believe I'm doing this. I'm going to go with the Cincinnati Bengals
Let's
here
go.
because this is a Cincy squad that